So for bar graph, put a star. Always check what number it starts from. If it starts from 0, very good. It is drawn to scale. If it doesn't start from 0, be mindful. Actually, the graph should look differently. So another 10. All of the graph should actually be longer. You don't have to draw this, but it is just to let you know that this is what it is supposed to look like. So can you think of a reason why instead of this complete graph, they only drew a partial graph for you? Yes? Take up too much space, right? There is actually another reason. One possible reason, might not be, but one possible reason is that they want to exaggerate the differences. What does that mean? Okay, if you look at, for example, between horror and comedy, look at these two. If I didn't extend them down, that means what you have originally on your book, in your book, does it look like comedy is more than double of horror? Does it look like? Then it makes you, when you look at it, you will feel that, wow, a lot more people like comedy compared to horror. But actually, the full picture is that, hey, they are not too different. This is actually this much, whereas comedy is just a couple more people extra. Okay, so this is known as misleading. It's like trying to make you believe something that is not true, called misleading. All right, so that is the key point I need you to take note of for bar graph, where the base starts from. So how many people like to watch horror? We have 15. Next, how many people were surveyed? Okay, so we've got 15 here. What is this? 13, 23, 26, 28. Confirm? Okay, so Sajuan says 105. Is it correct? Okay, next. What percentage like to watch documentary films the most? Over 105 times 100%. 12.38. So round off to 12.4%. Can? Okay, we've got two more types of graph that we have to cover. The line graph and what's the other one called? Pie chart, yes. Okay, so back to our textbook. Line graph. This is page 50. So for line graph, not surprisingly, looks like a line. So it shows how data changes over a period of time. Period of time. So that will be our horizontal axis. Okay. Currently, we have this example as day. It could be hours, minutes, seconds, but this is talking about the growth of a mango tree. Imagine you want to find out this data. Are you going to spend 24 hours a day measuring the height of the mango tree? No, right, Marilyn? Will you stand beside the mango tree and keep on measuring it? How often will you measure it? I didn't ask how will you measure it. I asked how often will you measure it? Okay, I got once a year. Yes, Marilyn, what do you think? How often will you measure it? There's no right or wrong answer. It's just I'm just wondering about your opinion. How often? Every day, huh? What do you say? Every month, every year. It's like your own time. Do you measure your height every day? No. Alright. You measure your height every month? So, in the same way, class, please watch your language. In the same way, for the mango tree, we don't measure it every hour, every second. In this case, how often did this person measure? Yes, every 5 days. You see the cross over here? It tells you that this person is checking every 5 days. And the person just joined all the points together. Understand how this works? I got a question. Is this, if I want to find out what the height is for the plant at day number 10, what should I do? What should I do if I want to find out the height of the plant at day number 10? Yeah, I count, right? I look for day number 10 first, then I count and I see what the value is. And it says 9 cm. Now is the next question, the one I prefer. What is the height of the plant at day number 7? What is the height at day number 7? What do you think? Day number 7. Can it be done? Can this question be answered? Yeah, day number 7. I want to know the height of the plant. Can it be answered? Oh. Okay, for those who say can, right, how will you do it? Day number 7. In the middle. In the middle, so we divide this, is it? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is it? Then this being 7, are we supposed to do it this way? Can or cannot? Can. Are you sure that is the exact height at day number 7? Think about it. This person measured only at day 5, day 10, 15. Did the person measure at day 7? No, the person didn't measure. So if I ask you, what is the height at day number 7? Is this a question that you can answer? No, you cannot. You cannot answer this question. However, you can estimate. You can say, well, since day 5 was 5 cm, day 10 was 9 cm, day 7 should be something in between 5 and 9. Okay, but we cannot get an exact value. That's the main point, Okay, so here we will look at some advantages. Very easy to tell how it changes over time. You look at the graph, it shows you that at the start, it rises very quickly, very fast. Then after that, it becomes slower. But you can tell generally, as time passes, it just keeps growing and growing. So it tells you roughly whether you expect it to keep going up or eventually come down. So disadvantage, the negative points. Okay, advantage will be the benefits, benefits or positive points. Okay, so the disadvantage is that the intermediate values may not have any meaning. Intermediate means in between. The values in between may not have meaning. For example, the exact day for mango tree, the height of 3 cm is not known. We don't know what that is. We can see 3 cm. Okay, 3 cm is over here. But if I want to know the day number, I don't know what this is. In fact, it might have grown this way. It might have grown this way. I don't know. Okay. So the values in between the crosses may not have value. They may not have meaning behind it. Okay, so that is the introduction to our line graph. I think we can do the question because I saw many of you already started doing. Was your line graph also covered in primary school? Okay, so let's do this. How much did Mei Ling save altogether from July to September? So I need the value first. What is the notice that it starts from 80 as well. So there's a lot of hidden information. By right, goes all the way down. No space lah. Okay, so let's start. If this is 80, what is this? 81, is it? Or 82, 4, 86, 88. So in the middle will be 87. 95, 99, 82, 90, and 94. So how much did Mei Ling save altogether from July to September? We are going to include July and September. Total 87, 95, 99. Okay, I didn't calculate, but it is just as simple as this, reading and adding only. Important is for you to understand what the question wants. Now, part B, difference between the highest and lowest monthly savings. Because take a different color pen, pencil, circle the word difference. It is a revision right now. Do you remember what I said at the first few weeks of school? Yeah, biggest minus smallest. Or big minus small, okay. Big minus small. So 99, 82. Next one, fraction of the number of months out of 6 months where she saved at least 90. So do you remember at least? We include 90, huh? We must include 90. So take again your different color pen, pencil. Say must include 90. Yeah, it means more than or equal to 90. So these are some notes that you should be writing down so that when you revise, you remember, you're reminding yourself the phrase at least must include the value. So what are the number of months? At least 90, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you are wondering whether should we include the 90 over here? But the answer is yes. All right. So you need to understand the English. I will test this. So fraction. 4 out of 6. 2 over 3. 4 months of 6 months. So 2 over 3. Anybody need more time? Okay. Once you're done, continue with question 6. Okay, next one. Okay, write down the values in your graph. 70. Did I get it correct? Huh? Correct. So how much did Joel spend altogether from January to March? Total? So it's just add only lah. Next, part B. In which month They spend more than 60. Jan, Feb, June. Can? Any more? Okay, one last one. Expressed as a fraction. Number of months out of 6. We spend less than 60. 3 out of 6. Half. That brings us to the last type. No, one last time only. We finished the line graph already. So we have one last one. Pie chart. Obtain is to get. If I obtain information from you, I'm getting information from you. So final type is the pie chart. Looks like it looks like a circle. Huh? Over here. So each slice is known as a sector. And each slice represents different category. The bigger the slice, the more we have. So for favorite types of book, you can list it down as percentages. Okay, why is this 50%? Look under mystery. It says 50%. What does 50% mean to you? Yes, 50% means half, right? 50 over 100, that is half. Can you see that it is half of a circle? What is the angle at this side? No? Yes? Yes. Yes, 180. Because it is a straight line, right? You see that it is half of a circle, so it corresponds to 180 degrees. Okay. Okay, you got it already. 25% will refer to 90 degrees. What is 25% in a fraction? No? 1 out of 4. 25% is 25 over 100, which is 1 over 4. And we can see from the diagram, this is 1/4. So this is actually 1 over 8. And we can do it in a fraction as well, from here. Or we can have the angles written down. So for example, if we have these three, 50%, half of 360, you get 180. That is the angle. This is a skill that you need to have. Finding the angle from the data. Okay, any questions for this table? Okay, Noah, let's try. Oh, wait, advantage. Advantage is that it is easy to compare one part against the whole set of data. For example, I am able to see that half of the people, they like history. Whereas if we have data in a bar graph, if I have data in a bar graph like this, it is very difficult for me to say half of the estate use, half of all the estates use how much water. Difficult to compare. Whereas pie chart is easier when we are comparing with the entire set of data. So the disadvantage is that if there are too many categories, if there are too many slices, then it's very hard to see, very hard to read. And then if the angles are very close to each other, 50 degrees and 52 degrees, very difficult for you to see and tell the difference. Whereas for a bar graph, you can tell there's a difference in height. Whereas difference in angle, very difficult to see with your eyes. You need to measure. So let's try one question from the textbook first. Try it 6. 30 students were asked for their favorite activity, and we have to find out the angle of the sector. So follow how I'm doing this. Page 55, textbook. Both stars will be tested. Okay. So the angle, let's have a discussion. What does the angle depend on? What should the angle depend on? What should the angle depend on? What should it depend on? The shape, the size? Yeah, but what does the size depend on? What makes the angle bigger or smaller? For example, if you look at these 4 sports, look at these 4 different activities. Which one do you think will have the biggest angle? Soccer will have the biggest angle, right? So it depends on the value. The size depends on the value. One more thing. One more thing that the size depends on. Imagine, now I want you to imagine. Soccer doesn't change. I change this to become 1, 0, and 0. Okay, just imagine only. Don't draw anything. Is the size for soccer very big? Yes or no? Okay, watch again. I'm going to change painting to 100. Is the size for soccer going to remain very big? It's going to be very small, right? So we know that the size depends on 2 things. First, it depends on the value of the activity. Next, it also depends on the total amount. If the total is very big, then 10 over here is not considered big at all. But if the total is very small, for example 11, then 10 is considered very big. So we're going to use this information to decide the angle size. Okay, so watch how we do it. Find the total. I want you to write down at the bottom, total. What is the total? Count. 30, yes. And now we can write down the angle. We have to write it as a fraction first. 8 out of 30. Can you understand where this fraction comes from? 8 out of 30? Okay, then we need to multiply it by, what do you think? 360, because the entire circle is 360 degrees. I only want 8 out of 30 parts. So what does this give you? Use your calculator. You get 96 degrees. Can you fill in the rest of the blanks? Try. Ten out of 30. Yeah, these are the values that you got. Same. Okay, one last type of question. Now, try to find the brand of mobile phone that people are using. What do you think? What do you think brand A is? Samsung? iPhone? Okay, see the majority is brand A. I'm just curious over here. How many students are there in class? Okay, so how many people using brand A? This one? Focus. How many people are using brand A? How do you get 35? Yeah, but we're not asking for percent. But I don't want percent, I want number of people. How about the rest? For part A. Part A says 35%. But 35% of what? This is a question that we always ask, right? 35% of what? Of what? Of how much? 120. 35%, 120. That's the total. So we have 42 people. Part B. What percentage were using brand C? How do we find brand C? I don't know what this is. Any idea? Any idea how to find brand C? Brian? Any idea how to find brand C? Percentage? Add everything up minus 100%, or the other way around? 100% minus everything, or everything minus 100%? 100% minus everything. So for brand C, the percentage will be 100 minus 7%, minus 11%, 7%, 35%, 25%. $14, $11. So we have 15%. Part C, what fraction we're using brand B? Brand B, 25% equals to 25 over 100, which is 1/4. Last one. What is the angle representing brand D? 7 over 100 times 360. (25.2 degrees). Okay, so our homework is so much. Until page 30. Yes, until page 30.